My friends, welcome to the shortest day of the year, the winter solstice. And what better way to celebrate the winter solstice than going out on an overnight trip? So what I want to do on this trip is show you guys what a realistic winter camp out looks like, because we're not doing survival. We're not doing the whole extreme temperatures kind of thing. This is simply just what a typical winter overnight backpacking trip is going to look like for the vast majority of us, because I think that is important to share, and not everything winter content related that you search for on YouTube needs to be extreme conditions and like crazy temperatures and all these like buzzword things that you see when you search for winter camping on YouTube. So that's what we're doing. Now, I'm well aware of the fact that so much of what we experience on our backpacking trips is location specific, the weather patterns, the climate, and just those kinds of things. And it's not always going to be these crazy extreme conditions that we are going to be experiencing out on our trips. Like, for example, right now, it's nearly 50 degrees Fahrenheit out here, and I'm not expecting it to get to like maybe below 25 degrees in temperature. So yeah, like I'm still out on a winter backpacking trip, but it's not this like crazy extreme like survival type of scenario. And I think that is way more realistic for the vast majority of us than what we might see as winter camping is presented on YouTube. Well, I found a good, nice, beautiful spot for me to set up that has a beautiful view out from this meadow in front of me. I got the big tall peaks behind me. It's just fantastic. So it is about 3 o'clock right now, which means I've got roughly 2 hours of daylight and then a long night, the longest night of the year. Thank you, winter solstice. But as I get things set up, I'll talk about some of the gear that I've got with me and what I might be testing and that kind of thing. So enjoy it with me, and let's get a pad set up here in the snow and get everything set up for the night. Now, the tent that I'm sleeping in tonight is the Nortent Vern 1, an all-season or kind of four-season style of tent where the outer fly goes all the way to the ground. It has a solid inner, so this is going to help me sleep a bit warmer because it doesn't have a bunch of mesh or places for air to come up underneath and just kind of remove all of that warm body air that your body generates inside of the tent. So I'm going to sleep pretty dang warm in this tonight, and looking forward to that because it's not going to be crazy cold tonight. And I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it not being this like sufferfest to come out and enjoy the snow. So having a like all season or four season type of shelter that has those elements that help provide a more comfortable experience, I'm all for it. So let's get it set up. Now, this tent's pretty cool because you got 3 poles that are used to pitch the tent and get it all set up. You've got 2 long poles that go lengthwise across the tent and kind of like an X pattern. And then you have a center ridge pole that goes end to end or side to side that creates a lot of structural support from those angles. And it just makes it for a really strong like shelter for these kinds of conditions where you might have some potential snow coming down or that kind of thing. So it can be a little bit tricky to set up because of that. And so this one takes a little bit of getting used to when you first start using it, but once you have set it up a few times, it goes together pretty quick. So in the tent, I've got my sleeping pad, which is the Xped Ultra 7R that is really a great winter sleeping pad for the kind of conditions that I'm in right now. It's going to provide a good night of sleep, or at least that's the hope, right? It does use a down-filled insulation in it, and sometimes that insulation can kind of like clump up, or if you don't try to like shake the pad around, then it's like kind of shifted to one end of the pad and not. So I'm going to mess around with that a little bit, but then my sleep system, it's funny, people don't like the word system for some reason, but this is the Zenbivy Lightbed -5 degree rated bag, sleeping quilt, sleeping bag, whatever you want to call it. and I'm excited about it because it's going to be just a toasty, wonderful, just a nice night of sleep. Dude, that is a fluffy, fluffy quilt. -5. Oh, I'm excited. So here's the reality of winter camping. There's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of time just spent sitting around, hanging out, and the nights are way longer than obviously they would be in the summer. So you're in the tent for a longer period of time, and it's kind of like, how do I fill my time when I'm out? Because on this trip, I'm not doing a fire. I'm not doing any like real crazy cooking. I am doing a meal in the Keith multi-cooker, the Keith titanium multi-cooker. So I'm going to show you that obviously, but outside of that, it's like, how do I fill my time? And a lot of it is just kind of sitting around, hanging out, enjoying the quiet. And that can either be super boring for some people, or it's like, that's the whole reason you go out, is to just disconnect and enjoy some of that peace and quiet. I've got a stream that is running down in the like drainage, the canyon below me, and that makes for a really peaceful, enjoyable setting. So I'm not sad about it. Sun's gone down. Hopefully we get some like nice pink through the clouds and just a beautiful sunset, but I'm just gonna enjoy this for the next, like, I don't know, half hour or so, because then I think I'll be hungry enough to start eating. And at that point, maybe it's like 5:30, 6 o'clock, get into the tent. I could listen to a podcast. I could read a book or listen to a book. I'm not much of a reader, so I do like listen to audiobooks occasionally. But then there's the option of even watching a movie and just enjoying being outside in the elements and disconnecting that way. So something I do want to show you is just a couple of like pieces of gear that I am also doing some more testing with and just getting some experience with. And that is the Fire Maple Dandelion Buddy table. Hopefully I can get this into the ground a bit better than the last time I used it. But you've got this aluminum metal top here, and then you've got your leg pieces. That's just like a single spike that goes into the ground. So I'm going to run with 3 pieces, even though it will do up to 4 pieces. So we'll see if I can get this into the ground here. Whoa, just about whacked myself in the face. There's a bunch of black on here from the steak I cooked on the fry pan from the last time I was out here. But that's pretty cool. It's like a really simple table. Oh, maybe that is going to work. We'll see. Oh, excellent. You guys. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so let's talk about this like multi-cooker here. This is something that I have had so many people ask for me to test and share my thoughts and opinions and feedback on and such. So what this is basically like a rice cooker, a steamer, and it will take your 100-gram canister. I've also got my stove in here, which is the Fire Maple Green Peak 2. I've got a lighter and then a little pack towel. So all of that fits inside, and then you've got this insert that is a smaller diameter than the pot itself. So what I am going to cook tonight, which I want to talk about this here for a second, is this is a new fabric that I'm using for the food bags that I make. So this is my 4-liter sized food bag that is perfect for a weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday trip where you're doing like 2 breakfasts, 2 dinners, and a lunch. And I'm covered in black. But it is now offered, or will be offered, in this Ultra TX50 that makes it about 36 grams in weight, and I'm really stoked about it. So you can get these from my Etsy store, and then I'm also releasing a new size of zipper ditty bag that has a watertight zipper, and it has a gusset on the bottom that makes it so it sits flat on the ground. This has like headlamp, battery bank, all of my electronic stuff in it. Just a really good size for a ditty bag that's also made from the Ultra TX50. So lots of different options here, but I like to point out that I make gear and I want to share that with you guys. So link for my Etsy store down below. But with the multi-cooker, what I'm doing is a like Alfredo tortellini. So I've got a cheese tortellini in here. I'll put that in there, fill it with water, and then it will do the steaming action, and then I can put the Alfredo sauce and such in there and just create a really nice dinner for myself with also some chicken. So this should be a really enjoyable dinner for tonight, and yeah, just looking forward to it. Whew. Man, that sun went down and it really chilled off. I mean, it's not like crazy cold. It's probably like, I don't know, low 30s, high 20s, but there's a little bit of wind in the air, and I'm up high on kind of a ridge, so you get some wind that way. But I'm gonna get some dinner going here and show you that whole process and what I'm cooking in the Keith pot. But there is just also the conversation of like, even though it may not be crazy cold temperatures, you still need to be smart about taking care of yourself from like a layering standpoint so that you're warm and comfortable and such. And I would say I made the mistake of not wearing the right boots. My socks are not quite as thick as they should be. So like my feet are a touch cold right now, and that makes things a little less enjoyable. So once I get dinner done, I'm getting in the tent and gonna warm up that way. But also like, I don't know, just having a good base layer, a good mid layer, and then a nice like puffy jacket, whether that's synthetic if you're in a really like humid, wet environment. I'm in a very dry, like not humid situation right now, so a down jacket like this, what I'm wearing is from Cumulus, and this thing is fantastic. Like as soon as I put this on, man, just super warm, very enjoyable. I've really enjoyed this jacket. So yeah, let's get dinner going and enjoy some cheesy tortellini. I'll show you what's going on here. Let's do it. The tricky thing is I don't really know how much water to put in here, but I am doing a Alfredo, so I don't need it to like completely not have water. I can always keep cooking and just kind of like reduce it that way. But we're gonna get the tortellini cooked first. So I think what I'll do is just cover it, and so it's like completely covered, and then we'll add more water as necessary. So what's cool about this is you have this insert, right? And that water is gonna drain down, and it's like the insert is up off the bottom a little bit, so you can't like really burn it too bad. Just gonna add a touch more. Just like it's an experiment, guys. That should be enough. So we should be good. Okay, so what I'm expecting to have happen is a amount of steam to come out of here, and I'll just kind of wait for that to, I don't know, cook for a few minutes after it's started steaming out of the top. So it should be good. And also, dang, pink sky. This is beautiful. Let me just show you this. Beautiful sunset. God, that's awesome. What a nice setting. I think what's funny, maybe you already saw it in the video, obviously you did, but all of this is like south facing. So all of the mountains and such over there, there's no snow. We haven't had good snow here for quite some time, but this week we should be getting a lot more. But it's beautiful. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. Let's set this down there. Just dump that in there. Okay. Oh, that is way more water than I would like. My spoon is bigger than my my container is. Dang it. Put the Alfredo mix in. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and do both of them. What's the worst? That it's a little bit richer in taste. And then my chicken. Nice. All right. Now, if I'm being honest, that doesn't look very good. But we'll see. Not gonna be as good as the ribeye that I had for my last trip. That's for dang sure. But I don't know. I think we're about there. Thickened up quite a bit. It's just not as like Alfredo-y as I thought it would be. Maybe, oh shoot, powdered milk. Dang it, powdered milk would have been a smart thing to bring because the packet did call for milk. But, oh well. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, whatever. I mean, I really do hope that this tastes good. But, I mean, if not, worst case scenario, I have a Peak Refuel Mountain Berry Cobbler that I grabbed last minute. That I thought, maybe some dessert will be nice to have. So, all right, let's give this a whirl. I give that 2, maybe 2.5 stars out of 5 stars. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. That needs some refinement. What I really wanted to bring was like some pesto. Like I wanted a pesto packet, but I didn't find that at the grocery store. It was all totally sold out, so I opted for the Alfredo as my backup. And I don't know, it's food. I'll eat it, but yeah, I've had better meals. I'm gonna finish my dinner, then we're gonna jump in the tent, get out of the cold, and just enjoy the rest of the evening. Stars are coming out. It is stunningly beautiful out here right now. Like blue light is fantastic. So anyway, I'll see you in the tent. Man, I tell you what, it has been a super cozy evening. Just enjoying hanging out in the tent, staying warm, and I don't know, the quiet is fantastic, but there were also coyotes just kind of yipping around, making a bunch of noise a few minutes ago, and I love that. I love just like being in the tent and then all of a sudden like it's quiet and then coyotes just making a bunch of noise, just doing their thing. It's so awesome. So man, this Zenvivi light bed in the -5, this thing is unbelievably cozy. Like it just, there's so much down. It's unreal. And my sleeping pad is doing fantastic and don't really feel any cold spots or anything. It's just great. It's just nice to be outside and in the tent. And this Vern 1, This thing's also really nice. It's not as good on the peak height. My head is rubbing on the inner of the tent right now, but otherwise, like, the solid inner is just, I don't know, guys. I could keep going on and on and on, but it's just been a fantastic evening so far. So with that, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna enjoy, hopefully, a really nice, comfortable, good night of sleep in the quiet. I'm gonna poke my head out though and check out the stars and see how that is. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see you in the morning. Good morning to you. There is a sheet of frozen condensation right above my head that keeps dropping down on top of me. Yeah, whatever. Packing up and headed home today anyway, so not too stressed about it, but a bit more like condensation buildup than I kind of expected there to be. So I don't know. But it was a nice night. I looked at my watch to figure out like what my sleep score was. It was like 96. It was 11 hours of sleep. Yay. First day of winter. I love it. Anyway, we're going to get kind of, I don't know, settled, packed up, figure out what to do with all the stuff this morning. I'll tell you what, it is a lot colder than I expected it to be for the morning. Man, I can't even see my watch. I think it's getting close to like 9 o'clock at this point, but the sun is not even like crested up over the ridge over here. Maybe we'll see that here in a few minutes, but I mean, behind me, there's the sun. And because it's been so warm lately, all that south-facing slopes don't have any snow on them. But just a stunning morning. First day of winter. Yeah. All right. We're going to get the pack packed up, get the tent put away, and get on the trail. So sometimes these winter trips are just super simple, really basic. You're just hiking up, setting up your tent, sleeping out, enjoying a nice meal, and then packing up and heading out. That's what we're doing. So nothing extreme, didn't have any crazy winds, no insane temperatures, just enjoying a cold weather trip. And that's that. So let's get the tent put down, packed up and such, and head on out of here. So my pack that I'm using for this trip again is the Superior Wilderness Designs Big Wild 70. I'm really enjoying this pack. It's huge. It's such a huge space. But it's so nice to have all of that for all these big bulky winter items. Makes it really nice to pack everything. Just trying to walk in all of my footsteps from yesterday, so I'm not getting all that snow in my boots. But this is so nice to get moving. My feet were absolutely freezing. My boots froze overnight. I made the mistake of not wearing like my winter boots. I'm wearing my Danner mid boots, and that was a mistake. So, noted for next time. It's officially winter. Be smarter, Devin. Well, friends, thanks for hanging out with me on this quick overnight. I think the important lesson here is to just get out when you feel like you need to spend some time outside, and it doesn't have to be crazy extreme survival conditions. It doesn't have to be exotic, wild experiences. It can just be as simple as hike a mile, set up a tent, enjoy some time to yourself. That's important. So there you go. That's my spiel for this. But really, thanks for hanging out with me. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.